In 1912, a self-made millionaire in St. Louis began mailing a 24-week correspondence course to students around the world. His name was Charles Haanel. Each week, for 6 months, a new lesson arrived in the mail. By 1933, over 200,000 people had taken the course. 7 years after the first lesson went out, a man named Napoleon Hill wrote Haanel a letter. He said, "My present success is due largely to the principles laid down in the master key system." That letter predates Think and Grow Rich by 18 years. Haanel was the grandfather of the whole movement. In this summary, you will learn the 5 big ideas of the master key system: how thought becomes substance, why your inner world creates your outer world, the exact concentration exercise Haanel made his students practice for 30 minutes a day, and the quiet discipline that separated his students from everyone else. Let's begin. Chapter 1. The world within creates the world without. Haanel begins with a claim so direct it reads like a law of physics. Quote, "The world without is a reflection of the world within." End quote. He splits the mind into 2 parts. The objective mind, the conscious reasoning, everyday mind you are using to read this, and the subjective mind, the subconscious creative mind that is connected, Haanel says, to one universal mind. Your circumstances are not random, they are not bad luck. They are, in Haanel's exact language, the precipitation of your habitual thinking. Whatever you hold steadily in your inner world, the outer world eventually arranges itself to match. Haanel writes, "We must be before we can do, and we can do only to the extent which we are." Read that again. Being comes first. Doing is a consequence. If you want different results, you do not first change your actions. You first change the state inside. This is why two people in the exact same job, the exact same city, the exact same starting conditions, end up with completely different lives. They are broadcasting completely different inner worlds. Your habitual mental state is the cause. Everything you see around you is the effect. Chapter 2. Thought is concentrated power. In week 3 of the original course, Haanel introduces what he calls the greatest discovery of all the centuries, the power of concentrated thought. Quote, "Thought is energy. Active thought is active energy. Concentrated thought is a concentrated power." End quote. But here is where Haanel becomes practical and ruthless. He gives every student a first exercise. Enter a room alone. Close the door. Sit in a straight back chair. And for 30 minutes, do not move. Not a twitch, not a shift. Control every single muscle. Most readers fail this exercise on day 1. They squirm. They scratch. Their leg falls asleep. Haanel says, "Good, you have just discovered how little self-mastery you actually have. Because if you cannot sit still for 30 minutes, you cannot hold a thought still for 30 seconds. And a thought that wanders cannot build anything." The exercise compounds week by week. Week 2, sit still and silence the mind. Week 8, visualize a battleship down to every rivet and every plate and every gun. The whole point is to build one muscle, the muscle of holding one image, one idea, one outcome in your mind, long enough for the subconscious to go to work on it. Concentration is the master skill. Everything else flows from it. Chapter 3. Visualization. The mental matrix. By week 6 of the course, Haanel starts teaching students to build mental pictures with the same precision an architect builds a blueprint. Quote, "Imagination is the light by which we can penetrate new worlds of thought and experience." End quote. In week 9, he has students visualize a flower growing from a seed. Hold the whole process in mind, the roots pushing down the stem rising, the bud opening. In week 17, finally, after 16 weeks of discipline building, he lets students visualize the thing they actually want. Not before. Why the wait? Because Haanel believed most people cannot visualize at all. They daydream, they fantasize, they drift. Real visualization is different. Real visualization is steady, detailed, emotional, and repeated until the image becomes what Haanel called a mental matrix, a mold that the subconscious uses to precipitate the thing into physical form. Haanel writes, "Dare to believe in your own ideal. Think of the ideal as an already accomplished fact, not something you hope for, something that already exists in a form so vivid you can taste it. When the image is held long enough at a high enough resolution, circumstances begin to arrange themselves around it. This is the mechanism. Clarity inside becomes coincidence outside. Chapter 4: The Law of Attraction and the Ingredient Everyone Forgets. Haanel was teaching the law of attraction 44 years before Rhonda Byrne was born, but he added something most modern teachers leave out. Quote, "The predominant mental attitude is the magnet, and the law is that like attracts like." End quote. Fine. That is the standard teaching. Here is Haanel's twist. He writes, "It is the combination of thought and love which forms the irresistible force of the law of attraction. Thought alone is not enough. Thought plus love is the engine. If you are visualizing wealth from a place of fear of poverty, the dominant feeling is fear, and what you attract is more fear. If you are visualizing a relationship from a place of loneliness, the dominant feeling is loneliness, and loneliness is what comes back." Haanel's rule is simple. Whatever you visualize, you must be able to feel loving and grateful for it, as if it is already in your hands. Not desperate, not grasping, warm, secure, already yours. The magnet in his metaphor is not just the thought. The magnet is the emotional tone underneath the thought. Change the tone, and the entire field around you changes with it. This is why positive thinking alone rarely works. Positive thinking without warmth is just noise. Chapter 5: The Silence. Haanel's daily practice. Everything in the Master Key system points back to one practice, repeated every single day without exception. Haanel calls it going into the silence. Here is exactly what he prescribed. Same room, same chair, same time each day. 15 to 30 minutes minimum. No phone, no notebook, no music, no interruption. Sit perfectly still, quiet the body, then quiet the mind, then and only then hold one clear image of your desired outcome with the emotional tone of it being already true. That is it. That is the entire practice. Haanel writes, "We learn by doing. Through practice, the athlete becomes powerful. Through practice, the student of the silence becomes the master of his own circumstances." He was writing in 1912. But the discipline is identical to what neuroscientists now call daily focused meditation plus mental imagery. A combination that modern brain scans confirm rewires the default mode network in under 8 weeks. Haanel did not need brain scans. He had outcomes. He built a multi-million-dollar business. He taught 200,000 students. He handed the method to Napoleon Hill, who handed it to the modern self-help industry. And he said plainly, "You cannot entertain weak, negative, harmful thoughts 10 hours a day and expect 10 minutes of positive thinking to fix it." The silence is not a bonus. The silence is the mechanism. Skip the silence, and nothing else in this book works. Let's pull it all together. 1. The world within creates the world without. Your circumstances are the precipitation of your habitual thinking. 2. Thought is power, but only when it is concentrated. Train the muscle of stillness first. 3. Visualization must become a mental matrix. Steady, detailed, emotional, repeated. 4. The law of attraction needs both thought and love. The feeling underneath the thought is the real magnet. 5. Everything lives or dies with the daily practice of the silence. Same chair, same time, 30 minutes, no exceptions. Charles Haanel made his fortune before he wrote the book. He was not selling a theory, he was selling a method he had already tested on himself. Napoleon Hill thanked him for it. Rhonda Byrne built the secret on top of it. Terry Crews rereads it once a month. This is the source code of modern manifestation. If only one practice survives your watch of this video, let it be the silence. 30 minutes, same chair, tomorrow morning. The rest of your life begins in that chair. That is the master key. One quick thing before you go. If this summary helped you, I have a beautiful PDF version with all the key insights from this book. To get it completely free, comment the word summary below this video. Then send a quick email to blissmindslife@gmail.com with the name of the book you want. We'll send you the PDF within 24 hours. No catch, no newsletter spam, just the value. Now go apply what you learned